As a result, there was a significant sell-off in cryptocurrency recently. As we truly start to concentrate on this, I find it fascinating how frightened individuals can get when the market begins to technically correct or drop a little. For instance, XRP is down roughly 8.2% on a daily basis. The entire drop, in my opinion, was somewhat less than 13%. However, the 7-day period looks like this. We're still up 44.71% for the month, though, when we zoom out. And here is how XRP 1-year outlook now appears. 400% or more upside. All right, it reminds me a little bit of December, when XRP began to decline and hover around the $2 zone. Almost the $1.90 region. And I recall that at the time everyone said, okay, so that was it for XRP. It's back to $1.50 now. After that, we keep going up until we reach about $3.40. The same thing is happening right now, as the market for old coins is also declining, and XRP is experiencing a pleasant little decline. Everybody is saying, oh, I thought this was going to be bullish, or, July was going to be bullish. Then suddenly, this is taking place. I find it absurd because of this. The entire month of July was incredibly bullish for both cryptocurrency and ancient coins. A minor correction is being made here, and now everyone is in a frenzy. However, I will truly explain to you all why we shouldn't panic just yet. Additionally, I will be discussing a price prediction that I saw on X as well as this price prediction. It's fascinating. We also have a timeline to accompany it, which makes it really intriguing. Additionally, we will discuss this. Let's begin by looking at the XRP price chart. On a daily basis, it currently looks like this. I'm filming this a little bit in advance, of course. Not too wild. Naturally, there shouldn't be a lot of erratic price movement or anything similar when this goes live. However, as I mentioned earlier, I believe that we are in the first stage of the pullback, where we are essentially chopping. And I'm hoping that we can establish a floor around the prior high from March or something. This is roughly $2.96. And it was also a significant support level in January. Additionally, XRP is filling the entire gap. It's nothing too insane, We sold off after encountering upper time frame resistance, and we are currently in a demand zone. And the issue is, will this continue to chop a little, or are we bottomed out? In the end, I would want to see us just construct a floor, chop a little sideways, and then begin to break out to the upside. Price action like that would be healthy. We ought to invite that in. However, given that some of these previous points, like even XRP from the lows, basically went like 90% plus some of them really 100% in just like a day, I do think that we might enter a little bit of dull price action now. Therefore, this pullback makes sense when considering this recent move. Right present, the overall move to the downside was around 19%. This caused the tree to tremble a little. Although there was some panic, we've handled this situation before. The initial pullback on XRP was about 34%, even back here. Because we are sweeping liquidity and creating more liquidity, that is healthy price movement that also encourages better price action on XRP. We can actually rocket to the upside because of that. Let's truly review some XRP-related topics now. First, let's begin by using tokenized RDB methods on the XRP ledger. From $5 million in January to over $118 million today, it increased by 2260%. Additionally, this is how the XRP ledger now appears. The RUA value on the XRP ledger is $133. 51 million. 10 RUA assets are also present. The stablecoin market capitalization is $137.36 million, up roughly 15.4% over the past 30 days. Wow. Additionally, we could observe the growth in terms of what is actually expanding on the XRP ledger. The one with a 291% increase is the Open Eden Digital Initiative. In fact, USDC on XRP is up 105% as well. So that would be wonderful to watch. Down here, we can actually observe the growth in terms of what has been growing. The 33% increase is due to the Open Eden T-bill vault. Additionally, the USD Stay stablecoin is up roughly 17.2% from just 7 days ago, as you may know. This growth is 7 days. I would love to see that. Additionally, I would really like to see a bit more tokenized RUA available on the XRP ledger. We are aware that a significant number of partnerships and announcements have not yet been included in the XRP ledger. Furthermore, Verde, the leading fund management company in Brazil, has launched a blockchain platform on the XRP ledger to oversee private credit operations. A $130 million KRA issue is the first active transaction. We now know that one of the first countries to truly have live trading of an XRP ETF was Brazil. Additionally, we are discussing a spot ETF. We also know that Ripple and XRP have been quite popular in Brazil. To give an example, we go back to TravelX Bank, which I believe partnered with Ripple back in 2022. Actually, that was in relation to the Central Bank of Brazil and the Central Bank of Brazil. Additionally, they have been negotiating with Ripple for a while. Additionally, only the Brazil region has consistently shown a strong belief in Ripple and especially XRP. Therefore, I would really like to see this and just go into the details. Verde has introduced a blockchain-based structured credit platform that is currently operational with a 700 million Brazilian real, or $130 million issuance on the EVM sidechain and the XRP ledger. The first asset is XRP financing, which provides funding to Brazil's agro industry, which accounts for more than 20% of the country's GDP. A significant step towards on-chain traceability, efficiency, and transparency as well as tokenization. And the official announcement is over here. We don't need to go over the value here because we already know it. However, we do know that this is taking advantage of the XRP ledger's low cost, efficiency, and compliance advantages. At every level of the structured credit lifecycle, the Verde solution facilitates transparent settlement and safe value movement. Additionally, it incorporates the Ethereum-compatible EVM sidechain and XRP ledger, which offers smart contract capability to facilitate programmable automation, the logging of important documents and metadata, and support for more thorough reporting. So it's wonderful to see this. Here are some quotes. For instance, according to the Director of Digital Assets Advertising, we are making it possible for operation events to be documented as precisely as possible, guaranteeing traceability and transparency as event records become closer to the actual time they happen. It is a tangible step in the direction of tokenization, developing into a fundamental component of the contemporary capital market. The desire for increased operational transparency, which is primarily coming from international investors, is also addressed by tokenization. It's wonderful to see this. Naturally, we also have it integrated with the additional P-Ledger in partnership with Ripple. Another significant milestone in the company's continuous dedication to innovation in Brazil's capital markets is reached by iKeep Contributor. Over the course of its 9-year existence, its founders were trailblazers in the nation's CRA market. With a workforce of over 200 experts, Verde has already issued over 350 operations with a total value of about Brazilian real 86 billion issued and 58 billion under administration. This player is enormous. Brazil's economy depends heavily on agribusiness. Thus, it makes sense to improve the way credit is handled and structured in this industry. This milestone shows how the XRP ledger and blockchain technology may provide dependable infrastructure for updating financial markets that are essential to the development of a country.